I was a talent agent. I had been with Lu Ren for 5 years and passed away due to illness just when he was on the verge of becoming famous. The day Lu Ren became a film emperor, it was the 3rd year since my death. The king of hell sat alone on his high throne. When he saw my file, he wasn't pleased at all. Tell me, how much Mangpo's soup have you wasted? Among those who came down here with you, some have already been reincarnated for the 2nd time. Aren't you ashamed? I spread my hands, showing that I was helpless. Mangpa said, her heart is too burdened with unresolved feelings. Mangpo's soup has no effect on her. The king of hell said, I'll give you a chance to go back to the mortal world and take a look. Come back and report after you've settled your affairs on earth. My eyes lit up instantly. Mangpa tried to persuade me. Human hearts can be cold and indifferent. You don't have to take some things too seriously. Just because you can't forget doesn't mean he can't either. I was overjoyed, only thinking about being reborn quickly and seeing Lu Ren. He was the most successful and proud work of my life. I was reborn into the body of a young woman in her 20s. She wore black, rimmed glasses and had straight, plain hair. She looked exactly like I did when I first entered society. I successfully passed the interview and became Lu Ren's assistant. Lu Ren has now successfully reached the top of the entertainment industry. He must be very different from when I was with him. He even has 5 assistants now. They take care of everything around him in all aspects. Sister An was still the same. After the interview, she reached out her hand to me and said, Jing Yan, welcome to join the company. From now on, you'll be Lu Ren's personal assistant. Sister An rubbed her temples and said, this is already the 3rd personal assistant we've changed this year. To be honest, Lu Ren is not easy to get along with in his daily life. You'd better be prepared. Was there anything I couldn't handle? Since his debut, Lu Ren has had a bad temper and was rather laid back. Otherwise, with his talent, he wouldn't have become famous so late. I followed him around, running everywhere every day, begging for resources and roles for him. It was hard work, but I also enjoyed it. Lu Ren was completely different from other popular artists. He was an excellent actor with great plasticity. No matter what role he played, he would always bring a new sense of experience to the audience. I still remember that because of his laid-back attitude, we didn't get any work for over a year. He was very picky. He rejected all the scripts he thought were not good enough or the roles that lacked depth. Until New Year's Eve of that year, he suddenly came to my house. When he saw me squatting in the rental house eating dry instant noodles, he got a little angry. The next year, he took on 4 dramas at once. Of course, I liked Lu Ren. Many people liked him. He was extremely good looking, and his appearance was not intimidating. Every time I accompanied him on the set, after he finished his makeup, in front of the camera, he had long, narrow eyes that drooped slightly, and his eyelashes were as long as those of a delicate doll. But when he raised his eyes, those eyes were full of spirit and understanding. It was impossible to look away. Every frame was like a carefully retouched magazine photo. I was a fan of his looks. My phone was full of his close-up daily photos. Sometimes when I got too close to find the right angle, he would get impatient and say, "Are you done taking pictures?" I would shake my head. He would take the phone, take a dozen selfies expressionlessly, and then throw the phone back to me. His tone was both harsh and doting. Eat first. In fact, Lu Ren came from a relatively well-off family. We were neighbors. At school, he was the target that all kinds of talent scouts were eager to recruit, but at that time, he didn't seem to plan to enter the entertainment industry. It was not until I managed to persuade Lu Ren with my persuasive words to step onto the road of no return in the entertainment industry. At first, we didn't sign with any company. I just took his materials to the film sets every day and recommended him to the directors. At first, Lu Ren took on several supporting roles, which attracted some attention online, but as a person becomes famous, more troubles come. With Lu Ren's temper, how could he endure the unspoken rules in the entertainment industry? He offended the capital, and no one supported him. There were countless good-looking people in the entertainment industry, and soon Lu Ren became an obscure artist. And those people Lu Ren had offended before would step on him whenever they passed by. There was a male artist who debuted at the same time as Lu Ren. He took the opportunity during a meal to offer me a high salary and even invited me to be his talent agent. The male artist said, "People should look forward. With Lu Ren's temper, like that of a pampered young master, he'll never amount to anything in his life." Jing Han, I appreciate you. Such a beautiful young girl like you has had her future and life restricted by him so early on. I feel sorry for you. Besides, you're so good to him, but I don't think he treats you that well. I couldn't hold back my anger and splashed the milk tea in his face. Just then, a group of reporters rushed out from nowhere and started taking photos of us like crazy. I was stunned. This person had come prepared, in a panic. A guy wearing a baseball cap and a black mask pushed through the crowd and took me away. The moment his hand held mine, I knew it was Lu Ren. During that time, I was severely bullied. Lu Ren was also slandered along with me. We hid in the rental house, and Lu Ren wouldn't let me go online or look at my phone. It was the first time I truly understood the meaning of bullying at night. I even had nightmares where people chased after me and insulted me. I couldn't sleep well all night. When I woke up, Lu Ren was holding me and gently wiping the sweat off my face. I was covered in cold sweat, my body wet and sticky. I asked, Lu Ren, what did you think when those people were scolding you before? He was usually a man of few words, but that day he was surprisingly patient with me and said, when I chose this path, I understood, the power of rumors is formidable. It's impossible not to care or be bothered by them, but the focus of your life isn't this. The focus is on me and your family. It's enough that we love you. That was the first time Lu Ren told me he loved me. I just thought he regarded me as family. It was not until Lu Ren made a comeback, a drama that was not initially optimistic about made him the biggest dark horse during the holiday season, and he stood out from the crowd of shows. He dominated the popularity charts. It was at this time that I got sick, a disease that couldn't be cured. Lu Ren started to get extremely busy, constantly attending various cocktail parties and major award ceremonies. And I planned to secretly go abroad. I found a new assistant for Lu Ren and told him I wanted to take a half-year vacation, although he wasn't happy and cut my vacation time in half. Save the rest for our vacation together, he said. On the day I was going to board the plane, Lu Ren came to see me off. He was still wearing a baseball cap and a black mask, without any assistants or bodyguards. He frowned and looked down at me, his eyes filled with a hint of blame. Why didn't you choose a warmer place to go? Finland is so cold. Strangely enough, although I had met many male artists, only when Lu Ren acted coquettishly did I not find it as inharmonious. Perhaps it was because I liked him so much that I loved everything about him, including his every action, word, and expression. I patted my suitcase and said, everything is well prepared. Lu Ren suddenly asked, what was wrong with you when you went to the hospital last month? I had started taking leave since I went to the hospital for a check-up last month, and we hadn't seen each other during this time. When he suddenly asked this, I felt guilty. It's just a minor stomach problem. I forced a smile. The disease came so suddenly that I was given a death sentence on the day I went to the hospital. Lu Ren still had a frown on his face. I couldn't help but stand on tiptoe and rub between his brows. Lu Ren, you'll get better and better in the future. I'll watch you reach the top of the entertainment industry and become the brightest star. Lu Ren took my hand, squeezed it, and then let go. He told me, Jing Han, come back soon. He received a call, and the company urged him to go back. The moment he turned around, tears streamed down my face uncontrollably. Actually, I wanted to tell him that I liked him, but that would be selfish. It was better to bury this feeling in my heart forever. The mountain moon doesn't know the secrets of my heart. I also hoped that my star would never know that I liked him. I just didn't expect that after I left, in the battle for the Film Emperor Award that Lu Ren should have won, he failed and missed the opportunity to become a film emperor. In the following year, his condition was extremely poor, and he didn't perform well in several movies in a row. Every time he was photographed, he looked haggard with a beard. I knew there was a word that always lingered in both our hearts. It was regret. 10. So I lingered on the Mengpa Bridge for 3 years. I don't know how many bowls of Mengpo's soup I drank. They couldn't help me move on. That's why I got the chance to return to the mortal world and see Lu Ren again. I also wanted to know whether he had become like this because of my sudden departure or because he missed the Film Emperor Award. Sister and drove me to the gate of Lu Ren's villa and then left. Before leaving, she warned me, he has a new talent agent now. Try not to provoke her. She's getting a bit arrogant because Lu Ren is good to her, but I can't say much. Brother Lu's temper is very strange now. Anyway, just be careful. after sister and left. I stood at the gate. This villa was bought by Lu Ren before I left. He even specially reserved a room with the best view for me. At that time, we often talked late into the night about meetings, work, and scripts, and it was common for me to stay overnight. I even joked, I have to avoid suspicion from now on. The last time I went home with you and got photographed, the paparazzi spread rumors that you brought a girl home and said you were in a relationship. Lu Ren lay lazily on the sofa and said, let them spread rumors. Anyway, you're going to be with me forever. It's better to get used to it early. My eyes became hot. Now, the person who was supposed to be with him forever was someone else. I reached out to ring the doorbell, but the person inside opened the door before I could. It was a girl. She had short hair, fair skin, her eyes were like mine. The girl was dressed in designer brands and was on the phone. When she saw me, she tilted her chin towards me, motioning for me to come in. After entering the house, in this place that I had been to countless times before the renovation, I actually felt nervous. Sitting in the beautifully decorated living room, I placed my hands on my knees. My palms were sweating. The girl finished her call and naturally walked to the kitchen. She took a bottle of water from the fridge. I stood up and was about to reach out to take it, but she unscrewed the cap and took a sip herself. Brother Lou is sleeping, wake him up in 40 minutes, and then prepare everything needed for the next schedule and wait for the driver, she said. She quickly walked to the entrance to change her shoes. Don't make any noise during these 40 minutes. He doesn't sleep well. If you wake him up, you'll lose this job. Before closing the door, she paused. My name is Su Lu. Call me if you need anything. Su Lu walked briskly in her high heels, and her actions were sharp and straightforward. This was something I could never match. Of course, I had met many professional talent agents. They were indeed more professional than me. Just from Su Lu's few words, I could feel it, what it meant to be professional. No wonder even though Lu Ren didn't win the Film Emperor Award and had become as laid back as before in recent years, he still firmly remained at the top of the popularity list, and there had never been any negative reports about him online. This was the advantage brought to him by a professional team. It was no longer like before, when I took him around blindly, constantly getting bruised and battered, and being treated coldly. Now he had a better team. He would definitely be even better in the future. Lu Ren took on a movie. The filming location was in the uninhabited area of Qinghai, and it was a suspense drama. I was in charge of packing his luggage, gathering all the daily necessities and clothes he would need during the filming. This was something I was good at. After all, 3 years ago, I could do the work of 5 people. When Lu Ren started to become famous, he once thought of hiring an assistant for me. I was young then and never felt tired. I felt like I had endless energy every day. Why waste that money? I asked him suddenly while packing his luggage. Do you dislike me? Do you want to change your talent agent? He was stunned for a moment and then couldn't stop laughing. Never, I can't bear to. I was quite proud at that time. I thought Lu Ren was just used to having me as his talent agent. He surely wouldn't be used to anyone else. But it seemed that he was getting along just fine now. Looking at the room full of trophies in Lu Ren's house, my eyes started to feel hot again. My phone vibrated. I came back to my senses, went into the cloakroom, and started to organize his clothes and daily necessities. In the middle of packing, I suddenly heard the sound of a wine bottle. Was he awake? I excitedly ran towards the door of his bedroom. The bedroom door was ajar. It was pitch black inside. There was the sound of a foot kicking a wine bottle. I knocked on the door and walked in, pulling open the curtains. Then I laid out the clothes Lu Ren was going to wear today and said, Brother Lu, I'm Jing Yan, the new personal assistant. Sister Su said, get out. A low curse came. It was impatient, irritable, and full of anger. I was taken aback. Lu Ren did have a bad temper when waking up before, but he wasn't this impolite. Was he? What was wrong with him? I said softly. I don't know how to get out. Lu Ren fell back into the quilt and turned his head to the side where there was no light. He went back to sleep. He did wake up 20 minutes earlier than what Su Lu said. I had to wait another 20 minutes. Just as I was about to knock on the door opened from the inside. Lu Ren came out and walked straight towards the bathroom. When he passed by me, he didn't even lift his eyelids. Goodness, what an impolite guy. The Lu Ren 3 years ago wasn't exactly warm-hearted or outgoing, but he wasn't this cold and heartless. Lu Ren had cut his hair much shorter. his face was even thinner, and his features were more distinct. The way he pursed his lips without speaking was very manly. He was no longer a young man. When he came out after washing, he carried a familiar smell of shower gel. It was the brand of shower gel I used to buy for him. Hadn't he changed this brand even though he had endorsed so many top-tier brands in recent years? Lu Ren didn't wear the clothes I had prepared for him. Instead, he put on a casual outfit. I followed behind him and reported the upcoming schedule. When Lu Ren went to the kitchen and took a bottle of ice water from the fridge, I said, "I cooked some porridge and fried some eggs. Would you like to try them?" Lu Ren was extremely well behaved when eating, and he always made it look so appetizing. He would take bite after bite, never leaving any food in his bowl. Seeing him enjoy his meals made me happy to cook for him. During the first 2 years after I graduated, when my friend came to cook at my place and saw that I made nutritious meals for Lu Ren every day, she scolded me, "You're taking care of him like this. What if he kicks you to the curb once he becomes successful? Besides, you're his agent, not his nanny." Lu Ren heard the word nanny. After that, whenever he had free time, he would learn to cook, and no one could stop him. After trying his cooking twice, I had a heart-to-heart talk with him. "Lu Ren, I'm your agent, and my job already involves wearing many hats. Don't feel burdened. I love life and enjoy cooking and making delicious food. I'm here to help you shine. What star spends all their time rolling around in the kitchen? You'd be better off using that time to study your acting." I picked up a piece of fish with my chopsticks and put it in his bowl. "I know you care about me like family. When we get rich, we'll hire a chef to cook at home." Lu Ren looked at me, then at the fish in his bowl. His dark eyes drooped, and I couldn't tell what he was thinking. He let out an and started eating heartily. He peeled the shrimp he bought and put most of it into my bowl. When I told him to eat it himself, he said indifferently, "I'm full, I'm on a diet these days." Lu Ren's house was very big now, and so was the kitchen. But it always felt cold and lacked warmth. There were a lot of fresh ingredients in the fridge, which were probably delivered every day. While Lu Ren was having porridge, I couldn't help but ask, "Brother Lu, do you still have time to cook at home every day?" Lu Ren ate very slowly. Just when I thought he wouldn't answer, he finally let out a slow "When I don't have any announcements, I cook at home. Someone once told me to eat properly." My heart jolted. Those were the words I had said. He didn't finish the porridge. After putting down the bowl, I looked at him expectantly. Lu Ren said, "A bit too salty. Damn it." Over the years, my cooking skills had indeed declined. When Lu Ren took the bowl to the sink, I rushed to wash it. He said, "You're an assistant, not a nanny. I can handle things within my ability on my own. Also, relax. You don't need to be so nervous." Was I nervous? I didn't even realize it myself. After answering a few phone calls, Lu Ren asked me, "Have you packed your things?" I nodded. "Already put them in the car." Lu Ren wiped the water off his hands. Under the rolled-up sleeves of his wrist bones were well defined, and his fingers were long and slender. I was a fan of nice hands. Back then, when I was infatuated with Lu Ren, besides his face, I also adored his hands. Everything about him was beautiful. After getting in the car, I was about to sit next to him. Lu Ren was looking down at his phone without raising his head. "Sit in the back. This seat is taken." Was it reserved for Su Lu? Just then, Su Lu called me. Su Lu spoke very quickly, exuding the aura of a capable and decisive woman. "Tell the driver to take Jiangning Avenue. There's no traffic jam at this time. We'll meet at the B1 entrance of the airport in half an hour. Give the phone to Brother Lu." I put the call on speaker and handed the phone to Lu Ren. Lu Ren asked, "When will you arrive?" Su Lu's voice softened a bit. "Don't worry. I definitely won't miss the flight." The car window was half open, and the wind was blowing in, yet I suddenly felt a tightness in my chest. It seemed that the place beside him wasn't irreplaceable after all. I sat in the passenger seat. The songs playing in the car were actually the same ones I had downloaded on Lu Ren's phone before. He was actually a very nostalgic person. In the second year when I was Lu Ren's agent, we picked up a little stray cat. It was black and white. We kept it at home for half a year, but then the kitten died of an illness. Lu Ren and I contacted a pet funeral parlor in the city late at night to cremate it. While the kitten was being cremated, Lu Ren smoked downstairs for a long time. When he came back up, I saw that his eyes were a bit red. after burying the kitten, Lu Ren spent a week of his free time making a wool felt doll of the kitten and putting it in a photo frame at home. It looked very realistic. He gently placed it on the cabinet. He was so careful, so, of course, I felt disappointed. After all, I had been with him for so many years. There wasn't even a single photo of me left on his photo wall. I clearly remembered that we had taken a lot of photos together before. I always got sleepy as soon as I got in the car. After getting on the highway, I groggily swiped the screen and changed to the song I loved listening to when dozing off. Fly Me to the Moon. I still remembered when Lu Ren asked me, "Do you really love this song that much?" I mumbled and turned over, finding a comfortable position to curl up in. "Not really, it just helps me sleep better." Lu Ren. So every time Lu Ren and I went out, he would drive, and I would sleep. As soon as I yawned, he would naturally reach out and lower the volume on the screen. As sleepiness washed over me, I closed my eyes. In a hazy state, I seemed to hear Lu Ren saying to the driver, "Turn down the volume." When I woke up, we had just arrived at the airport. Su Lu naturally walked over and walked side by side with Lu Ren. After talking about some work-related matters, she suddenly turned to me and asked, "Did you bring Brother Lu's script?" I was stunned. "What script? Where was it? What was it about?" Su Lu stopped, folded her arms, and started to look like she was about to scold me. "We're going to film a movie. Isn't the script the most important thing for you to check?" Wearing sunglasses, Su Lu looked down at me and scolded me in front of so many people. As someone with such thin skin, I naturally didn't know how to respond. Su Lu looked at the time. "Go back and get it now. If you can make it back in time for the flight, you'll pass your probation." Although there was still an hour before the plane took off, it was peak traffic time. Was I going to be fired before I even started? Then how could I resolve this? Not in my heart. I was angry but dared not speak out. With a wooden expression, I was about to get in the car. Then Lu Ren spoke up. "I didn't sleep well and scared her. The script is on my bed. It's not her fault." Su Lu seemed very surprised that Lu Ren would suddenly stand up for me. "But if she didn't prepare properly, it's her fault." Although Lu Ren was fully masked and his face couldn't be seen at all, some people were already looking in our direction. Lu Ren laughed. "How about, you go back and get it?" When Lu Ren was extremely angry, he would also laugh, but the invisible sense of oppression was so strong that even someone as familiar with him as me would be scared. These words were directed at Su Lu. It was quite satisfying to see Su Lu slam the car door angrily. I couldn't help but snicker for a while. As Lu Ren walked past me, he said coolly, "Keep laughing, and we'll miss the plane." I immediately followed. Naturally, Su Lu didn't make it to the plane. Her original seat on the plane was next to Lu Ren. Just as I was about to sit in my own seat, Lu Ren unbuttoned the top button of his shirt with one hand and nodded towards the seat next to him. Here, I suddenly felt a little shy. Lu Ren looked very tempting. Fortunately, I hadn't taken off my mask yet. I swallowed hard and plopped down in the seat. Then, I had another sound sleep. When we arrived at the destination, the sun visor was opened, and I woke up. I turned my head and saw Lu Ren propping his chin with one hand, looking at me. My heart skipped a beat. Could it be that he had noticed something? "Jing Yan." He called my name, but when the words came out of his mouth, it felt like he was just savoring the sound of the two characters. Was he just spacing out? Lu Ren said, "You remind me of someone." That was quite a bold thing to say. I forced a smile. "Well, I am a person." The flight attendant was already prompting that we could disembark, but Lu Ren didn't move. He was still deep in thought. I urgently reached over to unbuckle his seatbelt. As I leaned down, he whispered softly, "Xiao Han." My hand trembled uncontrollably. I quickly pretended nothing was wrong and said, "My name is Jing Yan." "Brother Lu." He fell silent. After a long silence, he unbuckled his seatbelt and got up to leave. I let out a sigh of relief. With this new identity, could I resolve the knot between us? The conditions at the film crew were much better than before. Moreover, since Lu Ren now owned half of the shares in his company and this was an in-house production, the treatment was excellent. As soon as Lu Ren arrived, I saw the adoration and admiration in the eyes of the young crew members when they looked at him. "Mr. Lu, I'm so happy to have the chance to film with you, Mr. Lu. Can we take a photo together?" Lu Ren replied, "No photos, but I can sign autographs." The young artist nodded eagerly. Sure, sure. Looking at Lu Ren surrounded by everyone, I felt so proud. My star-like boy had grown into a shining moon. When it was time for the crew meal, I was shocked. This was indeed the treatment of a top-tier celebrity. Even seafood was flown in, but Lu Ren didn't seem to have much of an appetite. After eating a little, he told me, finish the rest. Was this really happening? Then he called the crew manager over. There's no need to order special meals for me in the future. I'll have the same boxed lunches as everyone else. Spend the money where it matters. There will be plenty of expenses during post-production. As I chewed on the salmon, I watched him speak. 5 years ago, Lu Ren and I also went to an uninhabited area, but at that time, Lu Ren was just a supporting actor. And our treatment at the crew wasn't very good. Sometimes, we couldn't even get a hot meal. The staff would first serve the freshest hot food to the director's team and the more famous actors. The cold leftovers would be given to supporting actors like Lu Ren and extras. Sometimes, when we squatted in the shed and just opened our lunch boxes, during a sandstorm, the food we ate would be mixed with sand. We were poor back then and couldn't afford the big RVs that celebrities used, so at night, we would huddle in tents. It was cold, and we would squeeze into the cold-proof sleeping bags. Through the tent, we could hear the howling wind and snow outside. Lu Ren's deep and pleasant voice asked, "Are you still cold?" I gritted my teeth, but my teeth still chattered, "Not cold." Lu Ren opened the sleeping bag and covered me with it, then lay down in his long down jacket without taking it off. I tried to get up and return the sleeping bag to him. "Give it back when you're warm," he said. And with his arm, he gently pushed me back down. I lay back down and hid my face in the sleeping bag. My heart was pounding wildly. The warmth came instantly. After a long time, Lu Ren fell asleep. When I woke up, my hands and feet were sweating from the heat. I covered him with the sleeping bag. The night sky was filled with stars, and the beautiful scenery of Ho Zil was both strange and mysterious. And next to me was Lu Ren. It was an unprecedented experience. I secretly made a wish. 5 years later, that wish finally came true. Lu Ren had become a top-tier celebrity admired by others. Although I wasn't by his side, I firmly believed that he would continue to rise. He would reach the peak he had been striving for. This time, they were going to film a suspense movie scheduled for the Spring Festival slot in cinemas, Black Gun. After joining the crew, Lu Ren learned that the originally cast leading actress, a talented performer, had been replaced. I had read the script from someone else. The original leading actress was Li Yun, a well-known actress in the industry, but 2 days before the start of filming, it was announced that she had been replaced. She was replaced by Ji Yanyan, the daughter of a wealthy tycoon and a popular artist. As soon as Lu Ren saw Ji Yanyan, his expression immediately changed. Then he turned around and made several phone calls. When he came back, he still looked unhappy. I was all too familiar with this situation. Although it was Lu Ren's company, if the other shareholder agreed to let Ji Yanyan join the crew with her own investment, Lu Ren couldn't really refuse. But the consequence of this was, Lu Ren didn't cooperate with the filming. Ji Yanyan's acting skills were really poor. When she had scenes with Lu Ren, she couldn't keep up at all, in terms of lines, eye contact, and on-screen chemistry. She couldn't respond to anything Lu Ren threw at her. After a day of delays, many people on the crew were complaining. I moved closer to the director and said, "This can't go on. We have to solve the problem at hand. Is it possible to make another suggestion to the company? It would be best if we could change the actress. You think the company is yours to run. We've already started filming. Do you think we can just change the actress?" A female voice interjected from behind. It was Su Lu. She gave me a disgruntled look. "You're just an intern assistant. How can you just say whatever you want? If we offend someone, it will be Brother Lu who has a hard time. Do you understand?" The director was already in a foul mood and just sat there silently, sipping from his teacup. "There are plenty of things that can cause offense in the entertainment industry," I said softly, "if things keep going like this. The movie's box office during the winter break will definitely be disappointing." Su Lu got angry. "Since when do you get to speak? How long have you been working as an intern assistant?" 5 years, I said softly. "I have experience." Su Lu sneered. "You're only 23 according to your ID. Where did you get 5 years of experience?" I was at a loss for words. "I'm warning you. If you keep talking nonsense without considering the situation, pack your things and leave, before Su Lu could finish. A male voice interrupted. I remember, she's supposed to be my assistant. Lu Ren's voice wasn't loud, but it was enough for everyone on the set to hear. Su Lu, if you're not adapt to the environment here, you can go back first. Su Lu seemed unable to accept that Lu Ren was standing up for me. After all, she had been with Lu Ren for 3 years, and in everyone's eyes, she was the person closest to him. Brother Lu, I'm your agent. Lu Ren seemed to have run out of patience and smiled. You're the executive agent. Su Lu's eyes dimmed. I knew it. No matter how much I do, I can't compare to your former agent. There's no need to compare. Lu Ren's smile suddenly turned cruel. What are you comparing yourself to a dead person for? My chest felt tight. I couldn't tell if he was protecting the old me or telling Su Lu not to get any ideas. Su Lu's eyes were already red, but Lu Ren, like an emotionless creature, walked past Su Lu and sat down on the chair next to the director. Filming is the priority. I suddenly felt a bit gloomy. To him, it seemed that I was just a dead person. Su Lu ran off to the side. I squatted down next to him, looked at Lu Ren, and leaned in to hint that he should go and comfort her. She seems really upset. Lu Ren stretched out his long legs and rested his elbows on his knees. He flicked the script in his hand and glanced at me sideways. What about you? Aren't you sad at all after being scolded? This was nothing. During the years I followed Lu Ren, I had heard all kinds of unpleasant words, sarcastic remarks and outright insults. I was used to it. I shook my head. Everyone has different opinions. It's only natural for people to express their views. But Lu Ren suddenly stood up, threw the script onto the chair, and said, "No filming today." Wow, why was he suddenly losing his temper? During the long time I had been with Lu Ren, I rarely saw him lose his temper like this. There was only one time, when I went to secure a role for him. At that time, Lu Ren had offended a senior, and many directors refused to cast him in their plays. I finally managed to get him a third male lead role. The assistant director privately invited me to dinner. I didn't think much of it at the time. I just wanted to thank him, so I told Lu Ren I was having dinner with a friend and went alone. Lu Ren had other activities that night. It wasn't until the assistant director put his hand on my shoulder while plying me with alcohol that I vaguely realized something was wrong. Before I got drunk, I sent Lu Ren my location. When Lu Ren kicked the door in, I could barely stand. The assistant director was beaten up badly, losing 2 teeth. That was the first time I saw Lu Ren in a fit of rage, hitting someone fiercely without uttering a word. He was usually so laid back, doing everything slowly. But his fists when hitting someone were anything but slow. Fortunately, I had recorded the entire incident that night, and the assistant director was sent to the police station. When Lu Ren drove me back, I curled up in the car. I tried to act calm, but my hands were shaking constantly. I was also worried. After offending someone like this, even fewer people will want to cast you in their plays in the future. Lu Ren stepped on the brake, and the car stopped by the roadside. He looked at my wrinkled clothes that had been tugged at. It's not the end of the world if I don't become a star. I'm not that broke. At the time, I thought he meant he couldn't support himself. I forced a smile. Come on, it's not just about the money. I want to help you become a star. I'm doing this for both money and my dream. After that, whenever I had to go to social events, although Lu Ren hated them, he would always accompany me. Now, he was suddenly getting angry here. Ji Nyenyen, who joined the crew with her own investment, was terrified and stood there not knowing what to do. Although Ji Nyenyen was from a wealthy family, she wasn't actually arrogant. After joining the crew, she volunteered to help and was eager to learn from the seniors. Maybe she lacked a bit of talent, or maybe she just needed more time to adapt. Anyway, for now, this role didn't suit her at all. During dinner, Ji Nyenyen stood beside me and stared at me for a long time. I turned my head. Is there something wrong? Ji Nyenyen nodded shyly and handed me a bag of milk tea. Is Mr. Lu still angry? Thinking about Lu Ren's appetite earlier, which seemed okay, I said, no, he's not angry. Ji Nyenyen sat down beside me with a regretful expression and complained. I really didn't mean to. My agent suddenly told me to join the crew the day before yesterday, and I had no idea it was such an important role. I'm a bit scared. Can you apologize to Mr. Lu for me? I inserted the straw. The first sip gave me a mouthful of tapioca pearls. I was in a great mood. Apologizing won't help. Ji Yanyan's face fell again, all scrunched up. Then what should I do? I might as well go and pester my dad and quit the crew. You can't quit, I said, chewing on the pearls. The press releases were sent out this morning. As one of the highlights of this drama, you've already attracted a second wave of attention. I patted her on the shoulder. If you trust me, you can switch to another role. There was a female character in the play with not many scenes but who was very important. She played Lu Ren's daughter, a high school student. She was murdered by a man in black on a rainy night, and Lu Ren, as her father, began a solo journey to track down the killer across thousands of miles. Ji Yanyan gasped. Wasn't that role already taken? I smiled. Coincidentally, the actress playing that role took a leave of absence this morning. Ji Yanyan held her head in her hands. My dad will scold me to death. He always thinks such roles are unlucky. I patted her shoulder. Trust me, I'll give you some acting tips on the day of filming. If you can understand it, this role could very well be your ticket into the world of serious acting. Ji Yanyan nodded vigorously. You're so professional. I wish you were my agent, Mr. Lu's agents are all amazing, especially his first agent. It's such a pity. I forced a smile. Why is it a pity? Mr. Lu finally became famous, but the person who accompanied him all the way is no longer around. Ji Yanyan sighed. If I were in his place, I'd be heartbroken. I propped my chin up and sighed too. I don't think he's that sad, Ji Yanyan exclaimed and widened her eyes. You didn't know what? I was confused, Ji Yanyan said. In the period right after Mr. Lu's former agent passed away, he was hospitalized. I really didn't know that. For a long time after I died, I could only wander on the bridge of helplessness all day. I only heard some things about Lu Ren later from people who passed away and came there. Ji Yanyan leaned close to my ear and whispered, he had depression. I heard he tried to commit suicide. I used to be a huge fan of his. So I know all the gossip. My mind went blank. When he rolled up his sleeves after washing his hands earlier, I didn't see any wounds. Ji Yanyan said mysteriously, Mr. Lu has never taken off the watch on his left wrist, so that was it. The milk tea suddenly tasted sickeningly sweet, and I couldn't swallow it. My throat felt sticky and uncomfortable. I said softly, maybe it's because he didn't win the Best Actor award that time. Ji Yanyan said, is that so? It's possible. An actor like Mr. Lu, who pursues perfection, is almost an artist. Maybe he really couldn't get over it. After Ji Yanyan left, I stood at the door of the RV. I knocked, but there was no answer, so I walked straight in. Lu Ren was asleep. He was leaning against the single seat, wearing only a shirt. I found a blanket and covered him with it. My hand accidentally touched just above his knee. He was so thin. I bent down and touched his pants, and my eyes started to itch. How had he become so thin, although he used to pay attention to his figure? I thought I had taken good care of him and kept him in good shape. Only then did I dare to look closely at his face. His cheeks were sunken in a bit. I took a deep breath and reached out to move the watch on his wrist. He didn't move. His eyelids fluttered slightly, but he didn't wake up. When the watch was moved aside, a long, shocking scar was revealed underneath. A large tear fell on the back of his hand. I quickly wiped it away and let go. Jing Han, suddenly, my wrist was grabbed tightly. The grip was so strong that I couldn't break free. I was so startled that I almost jumped. My heart was pounding wildly, almost deafening. Lu Ren's eyes were half closed, and then a look of confusion flashed across his face. After a few seconds, he finally saw it was me and rubbed his temples. Sorry, I mistook you for someone else. My heart was still pounding. To ease the awkwardness, I started a conversation. I heard Jing Han was your former agent. She must have been a very important friend. Lu Ren didn't answer the question and instead asked me, is there something you need? I told him about Ji Yanyan's situation. He gave an and when he looked at me again, there was approval in his eyes. Good idea, I grinned, but have you thought about who will play the female lead? We've already offended Ms. Li Yun. Where can we find a new female lead in such a short time? Lu Ren was right, but I already had an idea. Don't worry. Before I left, Lu Ren suddenly asked, why do you want to be an agent? I said softly, because witnessing the birth of a star is a mesmerizing thing. Some people are born for the screen, while others are born for the behind the scenes work, After coming out of the RV, Jean Yin excitedly waved her phone at me. It seemed she had everything arranged on her end. Everything was ready, except for the female lead. Early the next morning, someone opened the tent I was in. It was Su Lu. She looked haggard, apparently. She hadn't slept well at night. Jing Yan, are you crazy? Su Lu said impatiently. Come out right now. I got dressed and slowly came out. Before we even reached the set, Su Lu started talking. I'm sorry, director, this assistant is an intern. Let's go back to the original plan. Okay. Then she turned to me. Jing Yan, what do you think you're doing? Giving random orders. Is filming a joke? How can we keep changing things around and expect to get any work done? As she was scolding me, I replied, you're right, how can we keep changing things and still film properly? Su Lu was taken aback. Li Yun is clearly a well-deserved excellent actress, and the female lead role in this drama was practically tailor-made for her. How do you think she feels about being suddenly replaced? Su Lu laughed out of anger. Fine, then tell me, who will play the female lead? Where are we going to find a new one now? Su Lu looked at Jean Yin. Jean Yin shook her head vigorously. No. I really can't handle that role. We don't need to look. It'll be the same as before, with MS, Li Yun. Su Lu scoffed. Don't you know she said privately that she'll never cooperate with our company again? I shook my head. Just wait for half an hour. Su Lu, what? Are you going to conjure up a female lead in half an hour? I'll solve the problem of the female lead in half an hour. I turned to the director. Director, if I solve it, can I be involved in the behind-the-scenes work of this drama? Lu Ren whispered something to the director, who shrugged and indicated it was okay. Su Lu, Jing Yan, if you can't solve it in half an hour, you'll resign on your own. In the middle of all this, Jean Yin whispered to me, after I talked to the director yesterday, they tried to find someone else. But all the actresses with free schedules and good acting skills are unavailable right now. Come on, tell me, what's your plan? I said mysteriously, just wait and see. Jean Yin wrinkled her nose. You're so much like Mr. Lu, doing everything slowly and never in a hurry. Do I resemble him? I was surprised at first, but then I thought it made sense. After all, I was like his shadow, having spent so many years with him day and night. Our living habits, language, and thoughts must have influenced each other to some extent. Jean Yin patted my shoulder. It doesn't matter if you get fired. Come and be my agent then. Just as she finished speaking, a red SUV came speeding over. The door of the passenger seat opened. A pair of long legs in leather pants and boots stepped out of the car. It was Li Yun. After everyone on the set was stunned for a moment, a cheer erupted. Jean Yin gave me a big bear hug. Yan, you're amazing. After greeting the crew members, Li Yun looked around. I'm looking for an assistant named Jing Yan. When she saw me, Li Yun asked, shall we talk in the car? After getting in the car, Li Yun immediately bent over and gave me a hug so tight that I could barely breathe. Han. Before she even said anything, I felt the wetness on my neck. Han. Li Yun was an artist I had represented for 3 years. I was the one who suggested she change companies and terminate her contract because the positioning and resources of that other company were more suitable for her. After our conversation, Li Yun asked, does Lu Ren know you're back? I looked down and played with my fingers. No, and he doesn't need to know, Li Yun said. Don't you like him? Actually, I think he also. I interrupted her. If you like someone but you know there's no future with them, what would you do? Li Yun replied. I'd choose to enjoy the process, but I was scared. I wanted to know how Lu Ren felt about me, yet I was afraid to find out. If he liked me, this reunion might be a blow to him all over again. Someone knocked on the car window. It was Lu Ren. Lu Ren needed to go over the script with Li Yun. I left obediently. I ran into Su Lu head on. When she saw me, she didn't even bother to look at me. As she walked past me, she said, you were lucky this time, Jing Yan. It took me 3 years to get where I am with Brother Lu. Who do you think you are? I'm warning you, don't mess with me again. I have plenty of ways to make you leave the company. Don't worry, once this drama is finished and Lu Ren wins the Best Actor award, I'll leave. I just said, oh, and walked away, ignoring her expression. With Li Yun on board, filming started smoothly. With experienced actors whose acting skills could stand the test, and since Li Yun and Lu Ren had worked together before, plus a great director, The filming went very smoothly. I heard some crew members praising Lu Ren. Brother Lu is in great form this time. His acting is off the charts. I can feel how deeply he's immersed in the role even through the screen. I got goosebumps. Lu Ren is both good looking and an amazing actor. I saw him film 3 years ago, and that was his peak. I feel like he's back to that level, and his acting is even more profound now. This drama is definitely going to be a hit. Looking at Lu Ren on the screen, the character he played was mainly slovenly. His face was dry and peeling, full of vicissitudes, although he had some makeup on. To my surprise, the sense of vicissitudes and coldness in his eyes, it was completely natural. At this moment, he was that lone traveler who had been chasing the murderer for 10 years. I felt a bit teary-eyed. I remembered once, Lu Ren played the role of a person with autism. He couldn't get out of that role for a long time. I put aside all my work and stayed with him every day. I lost 10 pounds during that period. Lu Ren finally got through it and learned how to adjust flexibly between the role and reality. I still trust him a lot. He has become a capable, successful, and outstanding actor. When it came to Jin Yanyan's scene, maybe because she was too nervous, she couldn't even remember 2 short lines of dialogue. Half of the morning was wasted again. Some of the crew members were already getting impatient. After finishing my work, I went to find Jin Yanyan. As soon as Jin Yanyan saw me, she burst into tears, looking wronged. Cry, keep going. I nodded to indicate that she should release her emotions. Cry even louder. Jin Yanyan's crying was really powerful. After wailing for a while, her eyes were red and swollen, and she couldn't stop sniffling. Remember this state? I stroked her head, wronged, scared, and at a loss. I motioned for her to look at the bloody knife. Add a little fear to that. I snapped my fingers. Please turn the lights down to the darkest. The lights went dark instantly, and the room was filled with a deathly silence. Jin Yanyan stretched out her hand and said in a crying voice, "It's so dark. Where are you, Yan Yan?" No one answered her. Fear overwhelmed Jin Yanyan, and the panic and fear on her face. On her face without any makeup, her emotions and expressions were extremely real. I patted the cameraman on the shoulder. Start filming. Jin Yanyan successfully finished filming her scene. She was still in a state of shock, and her legs were so weak that she was helped to sit aside by her assistant. Even Li Yun went over to comfort her and praised her for her good performance just now. Lu Ren handed me a cup of milk tea from the side. It was hot. I was a bit surprised. Last time Yan Yan said milk tea was really hard to buy. Lu Ren, it's okay. Seeing that I was about to ask more, he interrupted me. Drink your milk tea, you talk too much. I chewed the tapioca pearls slowly and carefully. Lu Ren watched me chew and suddenly said, "Do you want to hear the story between me and Jing Han?" I originally wanted to shake my head, but for some reason, as if possessed, I nodded. Lu Ren, Jing Han was my first agent. Perhaps in this life, she will also be my only agent. I was completely coaxed into the entertainment industry by her, but every time I saw her eyes shining brightly as she told me about future plans, talking about dreams and my acting career, I was always infected by her. In her eyes, it seemed that she could really see a brilliant and gorgeous galaxy, so beautiful. In fact, Jing Han was also famous for her looks at school back then, but she was completely devoted to behind the scenes work. She wanted to be the one who created stars, due to work. We were almost together day and night. I've seen her slovenly appearance, the way she picked her feet, and her face without makeup. I've seen it all, but, it seems, I quite like this real state of hers. The entertainment industry is full of strange and diverse things, and popularity and bad reputation can change overnight. Everything is illusory. Only she was real. Only she would always stay with me. She could always pull me out of the water when I was drowning. She was really amazing. Like a never-stopping little sun, busy and striving to move forward. Although she was a bit careless in life, a friend once said that sometimes it seemed that I was the assistant and she was the artist, but only I know, when I was at my lowest, confused, and helpless, it was her who desperately kept patting my shoulder to wake me up. "Get up, Lu Ren, look, Lu Ren, taste this, Lu Ren." She was hugging me with all her warmth, but why did she leave without even saying goodbye? We were comrades, in arms, family, friends, and lovers. How could she just abandon me and leave? I was all alone. How could I go on? Jing Han, I can't move forward without you. 3 days after attending her funeral, I chose an irrational act, looking at the blood spreading on the ground. My consciousness gradually faded. I suddenly remembered that if I left like this, she would hate me to death. She said that I was her most proud work in this life, the most glorious achievement on her list of accomplishments in this life. She put in a lot of effort to help me embark on my acting path, and she wanted me to live a healthy and happy life. I actually treated myself like this. I don't even deserve to go down there. I know that if I did, she would never forgive me in this life, but I seemed to have lost all motivation. Life was black and white, work was boring, and any food was tasteless. I wanted to dream of her, but she never came to me even once. Last month, when I was delirious with a fever, I actually dreamed of her once. If I had known I could dream of her, I wouldn't have bothered taking the anti-fever medicine. I turned my face away and looked elsewhere. My face was already wet with tears. I suppressed my unsteady breathing and asked him, "Then if you could see her, what would you want to say to her now?" "Lu Ren, I just want to hear her say goodbye with my own ears. I want to hug her again and touch her face. Ask her how she's doing over there." I held back my sobs and calmed my tone. "She can hear you. She must be doing well, because she will be satisfied with everything as long as she knows you're doing well." Just as my emotions were about to get out of control, Li Yun came over in time and called me away. After walking to a place where he couldn't see me, my emotions suddenly broke down. And I hugged Li Yun's arm and burst into tears. The filming of the subsequent scenes went even more smoothly, influenced by the acting skills of the surrounding artists. Jin Yinyan's acting skills also became more proficient. Although she didn't have any scenes, she privately recorded some short videos of acting challenges. After posting them online, her fans gave a lot of positive comments. Has Yinyan's acting improved? This isn't just the fan filter, right? Even the anti-fan turned into neutral netizens. This lady's acting is really good. If she hadn't joined the crew with her own investment, I would have definitely become a fan. Neutral netizens, without filters or beauty effects. I'm a pure neutral netizen. Her acting has really improved. I wonder if it's because she joined the Black Gun crew full of good actors. Jin Yinyan also interacted and replied, "Yes, I met a really amazing agent who taught me how to act. It's Mr. Lu Ren's new assistant, Wu Wu. I want to poach her." After staying in the uninhabited area for 4 months, the filming wrapped up. On the day of the return flight, after getting on the plane, subconsciously, I wanted to sit in the seat next to Lu Ren. Su Lu clicked her tongue. "Is this your seat that you're just sitting down?" I looked at my plane ticket, and it seemed that my seat this time was indeed next to Lu Ren. "Lu Ren, Jing Yan, I want to talk to you about something." I replied with an "okay," and sat down happily. After I sat down, he didn't say anything. Maybe he didn't rest well during the recent filming. Before the plane took off, he fell asleep. During this period, I was also in charge of operating Lu Ren's social media account. I took a photo of the blue sky outside the plane cabin with his phone and was going to turn off the phone after posting it. But I suddenly found that it wasn't his usual account. Was it a secondary account? I casually flipped through it. After just one glance, I couldn't move my finger anymore. February 4th, 2019, Jing Han, this is the first New Year's Eve without you by my side. I'm filming on the set today. The New Year's Eve dinner on the set is good, but the dumplings aren't as delicious as the ones we made ourselves, because you didn't put walnuts in them. I remember that 2 years ago, you put a coin in the dumpling, wanting to give me good luck, and deliberately gave it to me to eat. As a result, my tooth bled from biting on it. Since then, you never put coins in again, only walnuts. But every year, I can still eat dumplings with walnuts in them. This winter is really cold. You were always afraid of the cold every winter. Is it cold where you are? I continued to scroll down. February 10th, 2019. The program team informed me that this time the Best Actor award is definitely mine. I made a decision. I politely declined and won't attend. This award is half yours, but since you're not here, how can I have the nerve to accept it? Jing Han, I don't have the courage to go on stage and receive the award alone. I have imagined this scene countless times. I win the Best Actor award, and you, sitting in the most prominent position, looking at me with pride and clapping for me. Then I will tell everyone loudly that I want to thank you, the most important person in my life. It's you, Jing Han. February 14th, 2019, Jing Han. Who are you spending Valentine's Day with today? I saw a cat downstairs that looked a lot like Awu. But I know it's not him. You both went to the same place and will never come back. Even if it looks alike, it won't come back. February 19th, 2019, Jing Han, did you eat tengyuan today? I vomited after eating one. I don't have a good appetite. Maybe it's because you didn't make them. February 20th, 2019, I didn't go to the set and had no announcements today. I just lay around at home. But, why do I have you talking to me in my head all the time? March 6th, 2019, I'm sick, just a minor illness. Don't worry, July 3rd, 2019, Jing Han, I won a big award today. It's a pity that you can't see it again. How great it would be if you were here. You would definitely be proud of me. September 8th, 2022, Jing Han, I met a girl who looks a lot like you. She's the new assistant. She's so much like you, except for her face and voice. You two are almost the same person. But how can a dead person come back to life? If she's really you, I think she won't stay for long, right? When I read this, I suddenly covered my mouth. I didn't let out a single sound. Did he know? Or did he guess something? October 3rd, 2022, no matter who she is, I have already felt the words you want to tell me. I will live a good life and film well. The meaning of life. In fact, you told me a long time ago. I was just pretending not to know. The plane landed. My eyes were as swollen as walnuts, and I put on sunglasses. I rushed back to the rental house in a hurry. In the following days, I tried my best to avoid direct contact with Lu Ren, until the film was successfully released. Sure enough, as soon as the film came out, it received rave reviews, explosive acting skills. Everyone's acting is on point, the plot is awesome, and the lead actors are even more amazing. 5-star review. I haven't seen such a great drama in years. I'm going to watch it 3 times. It's amazing, the light of domestic suspense films. I'll make a bet. Lu Ren is very likely to be nominated for Best Actor for the 2nd time this year. Be more confident. Remove the likely. If he's not the best actor, I'll eat my head. Half a year later, at the International Film Festival, Black Gun won numerous awards. Lee Yun was nominated for Best Actress, and even Ji Nyenyen received a nomination for Best Supporting Actress for her outstanding performance in a brief appearance. Lu Ren won the Best Actor award, a well-deserved film emperor. Lu Ren walked onto the stage. The gray notch, lapel suit made his perfect facial features even more eye-catching. His eyes swept across the audience. Behind this award, there are the efforts and hard work of too many people. Today, I'm also here to accept the award for a very important person. She has actually been away from me for a long time, but I know that she is still with me. Our dream has come true. Jing Han, when he pronounced that name, his gaze slowly and extremely gently fell on me. I finally witnessed his moment of glory. After the award ceremony, Lu Ren found me. When are you leaving? Soon, I smiled. When did you know, Lu Ren? The first time I saw you, me. Were you scared, Lu Ren? Yes. I was scared that this was a dream. Lu Ren accompanied me to a place. 20 minutes later, we were sitting in a small photo studio. Lu Ren, will you accompany me to take a wedding photo? I laughed and then cried. Aren't you afraid that others will spread rumors if they see the photo in the future? Lu Ren, let them spread whatever rumors they want. I wiped his tears for him. Lu Ren took out a ring from his arms and put it on my finger. I've had this ring for a long time. I originally wanted to propose on the day I won my first award. Maybe it's a bit late, but Jing Han, will you marry me? I nodded, crying uncontrollably. The ring fit perfectly, neither too big nor too small. He lowered his head and kissed my lips. Jing Han, I have no more regrets. When our tears mixed, I felt my body start to become very light. The people in the photo studio were sent away by Lu Ren. He set the camera to selfie mode. I also sat down and tried my best to show a perfect smile to the camera. My body gradually became transparent. Lu Ren looked at the camera, but I knew there were tears on his face, and he was crying. At the moment when my body finally turned into nothingness, Lu Ren grabbed my hand. He knelt down devoutly and kissed the back of my hand carefully. Goodbye, my bride. Goodbye, my Lu Ren, my moon. This time, I finally had the chance to say goodbye properly, after hearing the story above. What are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.